why you had a walk.
It was either that or arrest her.
So what's the problem? I heard some bizarre excuses that my husband murdered himself to fit me up.
Wouldn't she have dreamt up something better if she'd planned it?
And what if she does a runner like a boyfriend?
Calculated risk. Even bigger one if we charge her without having enough evidence.
Well, what more do we need? She was there, in that room. She isn't even denying that. No wonder he called for help. She sat there watching him drink poison.
We won't know that till we get the post-mortem report back.
Joseph seems to have made some good friends at school. He was certainly keen to stay. He took the news remarkably well.
Which made it marginally easier for me. But how can an 8-year-old know what it means? He's going to have to spend the rest of his life trying to work it out. Why?
With loving people around him, I'm sure he'll find his own answers.
Well, I could always tell him the truth. The real reason why his father's dead.
I don't think it's helpful clinging to the notion that Charity is somehow implicated.
Don't patronize me, Ashley. It isn't a notion or another of my delusions. It was the police who suggested it.
No, they didn't. They're simply eliminating all possibilities, no matter how remote.
It's glaringly obvious she did it. And I let Chris down by not seeing it coming.
How's Shadrach managing?
You mean, how did I manage with him? Well, let's put it this way. Having both his arms in plaster didn't curtail his usual ability to consume a breakfast of 8 pints of bitter.
How's she?
No better than when I rang you. She slept over a night or two. Half that lot in the village, they're ready for setting up a scaffold.
Oh, that's now fresh. What do you reckon?
What, whether she... No, of course not.
Oh, of course not.
Kane's not shown his face since, though.
Oh, I warned him to steer well clear of the Tates. Still, I suppose he's had the good sense to take Debbie away from it for a bit.
Debbie certainly got the short straw when it comes to parents.
Come here, love. Oh, don't worry, we'll sort it out. You're with family.
I know. Hey, how was Granny Clegg?
Oh, the same as usual. Daft as a brush. That's better. Marlon, stick kettle on. You look done in.
Been looking out the window most of the night. It's like a different world. Dead quiet and peaceful. And you know when it got light, you know what I saw? I saw some pheasants, rabbits, a couple of foxes.
You get all that at home farm.
I'd never noticed. And then I watched the people arrive for work at factory. And it made me think of when I first arrived 3 or 4 years ago. And if I'd stayed here in this house.
You'd have been welcome.
I know. But just say I'd never moved out, you know, got a job at factory.
And do you think you could have settled for that?
Upstairs on my own in that quiet. Yeah, I could. There's just no getting away from it, is there?
Kane has.
Yeah, well, maybe you had the right idea.
I'm sorry to hear about what's happened, Zoe.
So I didn't even know it was ill.
Pity. You wouldn't have needed to murder him if you had, would you?
Take a look at this. It's the PM report. He was poisoned.
I can't read.
And we know her fingerprints were on the glasses.
So what is?
In the highly unlikely event of him intending to take it, there'd have to be a trace, a speck on him. There was nothing.
How would anyone get hold of this stuff? It's not the sort of thing you keep in your shed.
You wouldn't find it over the counter in the chemist's either.
Maybe research centres, possibly university labs.
Or the internet.
Oh, yeah. The wonders of modern technology. Right. We'll bring in their computers. No one should have had a chance to tamper with them.
Christopher Tate won't have, will he?
How can you even think that I killed Chris? The police do. Don't ignore me, Zoe!
Leave it, Charity. It's not the right time.
Look, we were trying to get back together, me and Chris. That is why I went up there. Don't you even mention his name. He loathed you. He'd got you out of his life. All he wanted was a few precious months with the people who really loved him. He even took that away from him. And from me. And Jean. And Joseph.
Come on. Come on.
First day back and you're late.
I know.
Don't worry. Eric hasn't noticed.
Bit of a family crisis.
That's an understatement. What has Charity been up to?
Nout.
How's she bearing up?
Not very well, I'm afraid.
I don't expect she'll be in widow's weeds for long.
What do you mean by that?
It's just as well you've put in an appearance. We're snowed under here.
Yeah, looks like it. Whole place will fall apart without me here.
Hardly. In fact, things have run exceptionally smoothly. The only problem we do have is with the unreliability of the staff.
So, Charity, how you diddling?
Cheered her up.
All part of the job description, to offer a jolly word and a friendly smile.
I reckon she's going to need more than that to get out of the mess she's in.
Ah, Charity. Just the person. I've had a word with one or two of the other owner drivers.
We'll fetch it with Mr. T, eh? Don't mind. For me. Look as if you could do with it. Cheers. Time's a great healer.
Is it?
Look, I still think about Ray. But life has its consolations. After everything he put me through, I reckon I'm entitled to everything I got. You know about that more than most people. I expect you'll be the same. You'll get over it.
Yeah, well, there's one big difference, Louise. You might have had a very good reason to bump off Ray, but I didn't kill Chris.
Charity, it's okay. You can trust me. We're girls.
I didn't kill Louise! All right!
What did she say to you?
Stupid bitch.
Take the notice!
I've been taking a notice all my life, Marlon.
Hey, best way.
Is he? Well, over the years, I've graduated from scruffy little kid to scrubber to gold digger, and I took no notice. Because it was always their problem. It didn't have any effect on me. Well, now it does. Because people who I know well, who think they know me, could believe that I could kill Chris in cold blood.
No.
Yes, less than a week ago. And it seems like a lifetime. I went up to Home Farm to try and patch up my marriage. Determined, and I know it must sound corny or stupid, but determined to be the best wife in the world. Well, it was stupid. Because Chris, like everybody else, obviously thought I was the most evil woman who ever drew breath. So how can I take no notice of that?
How are we supposed to keep the place running if you've got the computers?
We'll let you have them back ASAP.
Unless we need them for evidence in court.
What are you on about?
Just routine, sir.
Only thing you're going to get off them is how much overtime people have worked and how many bags of fertiliser we've ordered.
Well, if that's all, you'll have them back by the end of the week.
What do you mean, if that's all?
I'm going to need a truss carrying this lot.
Did you get one for your mouth as well?
Hey, sir, some brilliant games here.
Yeah, well, you won't be playing them. Go and fetch the computers from the haulage company as well.
Oh, you can't do that. The drivers won't know where their pickups are.
Mr. Tate is dead. I'm sure your customers will be understanding.
You can bank on it.
DSP? Hi, yeah. He's here. You have. Good. Forensics. They've got something. They want us to go over.
How's Viv?
If I told you, it would put you off your beverage. Dengue fever, not a pretty sight, so I'm told.
I dare say.
You should think yourself lucky.
Pardon?
You think your predecessors, the missionaries.
Oh, yes.
I mean, what's the worst you've got to contend with? Bad coughs and a near-empty church.
Yes.
Oh, Reverend, have you ever thought putting stained glass double glazing in that chapel of yours?
Do you sell it?
No.
It wouldn't have happened if Debbie had stayed with us.
No, Chris would still be dead.
I meant Debbie'd be safe at home and not dragged off with a father she hardly knows.
How was Zoe when you saw her?
Hard to say, really. Still in a state of shock, I think.
She didn't mention anything about Chris's death not being natural causes.
No, why?
She thinks someone killed him.
Charity.
Charity? She can't think that Charity killed Chris.
Well, nearly every customer this morning seems to think the same thing.
Yeah, but why on earth would Zoe think that?
Grief? Anger? She might even be right. She knows Charity better than most people.
You don't think Charity could do something like that, do you?
I have absolutely no idea, and it's pointless speculating. What bothers me is the way Zoe's reacting. I mean, I know when we're grieving, none of us is entirely rational.
You think she's getting ill again? Well, that's not how she came across when I saw her.
Let's face it, Paddy, you were hardly the first to spot it when she had a breakdown.
Enjoy.
Strip of the police tape wouldn't keep Chris. Uncle Christopher, out of his own home. You aren't going to know him, are you?
Hiya.
I say it's the first sign and I should know.
How are you doing?
Yeah, okay. Well, I would be if the police were more honest with me.
Yeah, I suppose there's a certain rigmarole they all have to go through, isn't there?
Paddy, I can't get into my own home and they won't let me see Chris.
No, it can't be easy.
Probably got him in some refrigerated drawer.
Flippin' heck, Zoe, it's no good letting thoughts like that get into your head.
It's not deliberate.
Of course it's not. No, well, try and think of all the, I don't know, the precious times that you and Chris spent together. You'll always have them, won't you? You're going back up to Ashley's, I'll walk up with you.
You know, Chris promised me that we were about to have the best times ever.
I'm sure that's what you intended.
But she stole them from me. And now the police have got Chris. It's as if I'm being robbed of everything, even my memories. I can't see his face. All I can see is a cold, dark box.
Great, this.
It's your dad's favourite.
You eat like him and all.
You see?
There was nothing we could do. His family.
You must be mental. So, what went on between you and that husband of yours?
Well, I suppose you read it in all the papers.
No, Kane told me. He's why I'm homeless. He was staying at my flat with his daughter.
Yeah, my daughter.
You kept that quiet, the pair of you.
Why didn't you bring her up?
'Cause Kane and me fell out. He thumped my landlord and I got evicted.
Right, so where's Debbie now?
Moved on.
And you let her go?
I'm not a mother.
I'll not let her get away with this. She's going to pay for what she's done.
I was just saying to Zoe, I think that's probably best left to the police, don't you think so, Ashley?
Well, you both would say that, wouldn't you? But I have a responsibility to make sure that she doesn't wriggle out of it, because that's what she's going to try and do. There isn't an ounce of decency in her. Do you really think she's grieving now? She'll be scheming, dreaming up ways to get off the hook.
Torturing yourself like this is going to hurt you more than Charity.
Oh, Ashley, for God's sake, stop preaching. You're going to ask me to forgive her next.
Give me the van keys, Lisa.
Why?
Because the coppers have got my car, haven't they?
I mean, where are you going?
To get Debbie back.
You don't know where she is. Definitely won't be at mine.
Well, I'm not sitting here while that idiot brother of yours drags her from pillar to post.
Listen, Debbie can look after herself.
She's my responsibility, Marlon.
She could be anywhere.
I can put the word around. I know enough people. Keys, please. She's my baby, Lisa. Lucky we just caught you. Look, I've answered all your questions, so just back off, will you? I need to find my daughter.
You know where she is?
Just move your car, will you?
Charity Tate, I'm arresting you on suspicion of murder. You do not have to say anything, but it may harm your defence if you do not mention when questioned something which you will later rely on in court.